Milky sunshine for the rest of your afternoon across KELOLAND with, unfortunately, smoke in the atmosphere that we're going to have to deal with. So air quality concerns in a couple of areas are going to be elevated. Beyond that, it's a seasonably warm day. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s as we get ready for a comfortable night. If you're East River, 50s for lows. Closer to the low 60s, though, toward the west. We'll talk about the rest of your 7-day forecast, including a hot, unofficial end of summer coming up. But until then, midday in KELOLAND starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, midday in KELOLAND.
The jackpot is building as Sioux Falls fundraiser looks to find the Queen of Hearts. Just how much is on the line coming up. Plus,
Adelia takes aim at Florida's Gulf Coast. I'm Larry Seward in Tampa, where final preparations are underway as residents brace for a major hurricane to make landfall.
good afternoon and thanks for having us in. A major health risk and a legal liability. Those factors are what Sioux Falls Mayor Paul Tenhaken says went into making the difficult decision to close the Delbridge Museum of Natural History and decommission the taxidermy collection. Tenhaken joined other city leaders in the Great Plains Zoo this morning to address the strong feelings that the move has sparked in the community.
Hysteria is probably an overused term, but there's just been a lot of emotion over the last week. We're like, hey, let's hear it from the horse's mouths. We have legal issues that we have to work around. We have a collection that's aging not well. None of us do. And that goes with taxidermied animals. And then we also have a health risk. And in the public sector, you know, Dave did a great job of saying it, our risk tolerance is very low, and it's non-existent.
The health risks, levels of arsenic found on the taxidermy collection. From more on the city's response to reaction to the decision, we're going to have a number of reports coming up tonight on KELOLAND News from Renee Ortiz, Ray Yost, and myself. We have an update to a suspicious house fire and burglary we've been following. The person suspected of stealing from the home has been caught. Police used neighborhood surveillance video to identify 41-year-old Nathan Iceland from Harrisburg as a suspect. Iceland is accused of stealing several cars, a motorcycle, and other household items. He was arrested in Lincoln County yesterday.
Recovered three of the stolen vehicles were recovered in different places. There were some coins that had been stolen from the house that were recovered. The other pieces that were stolen from the house, we're still working on locating them.
Clemens says the arson investigator is still trying to determine if Iceland was responsible for starting the fire that ultimately burned down the home. For additional information on this case, we have several reports for you on KELOLAND.com. The South Dakota Department of Ag and Natural Resources has issued an air quality alert for areas across the state. The smoke from wildfires in Canada is expected to settle in South Dakota throughout this evening. The smoke may cause low visibility, increased fine particulate matter pollution. The alert is in effect through Thursday, August 31st, or until conditions improve. It's that milkiness in the sky that has Adam's attention this midday. Let's check in with him for details on our forecast.
Well, considering we don't have a whole lot else going on across KELOLAND in the short term, we got to find something, and if anything, the smoke found us. So we're going to have to watch that and be mindful of that air quality. You can even see that filtered sunshine over Falls Park, 82 with a northwest wind at 9 miles per hour at the airport. It's going to be a seasonably warm day today, so we do at least have that working in our favors, and even a little bit of haze behind the lead from our Terry Peak camera, 76 with a northeasterly breeze at just 1 mile per hour. So for all intents and purposes, it's a pretty quiet morning in the hills. 79, your number in Brookings, as well as Huron, 80 Aberdeen, 81 in Pierre, 83 for Rapid City, 81 also your number in Marshall, Mitchell, Spencer, Valentine, and Pine Ridge. And not much of a breeze to speak of. That's been a pretty tolerable, around 10 miles per hour out of the north by northwest if you're East River, kind of light and variable if you are West River. The dew point also is, to use the word, tolerable. Either side of 60 in many locations, so it really isn't all that humid, and it's actually downright comfortable out toward the hills with dew points in the 40s. Beyond that, this is what I'm talking about. A whole lot of nothing, and this is working. Satellite and radar, rather. We just have to zoom out in order to find anything to talk about. And even then, we have to head all the way out toward the Upper Peninsula and the Great Lakes in order to get even the nearest bit of rainfall. There is an upper level trough that's centered over Fargo and then moving through Huron in winter, but you also notice that is a moisture starved little trough there, and as a result we just are not expecting to see much of anything as we go through not just today but through the next several days. This afternoon, we'll see highs in the low to mid 80s in many locations of southeastern KELOLAND, but that hazy sunshine will be what sticks around, especially as we head toward the evening. Same rules apply up to the northeast, low to mid 80s, hazy sunshine and a light breeze out of the north. Out west, it's a little bit warmer, and I do mean a little bit. We're talking about mid to upper 80s, even a few very low 90s out toward Phillip and Kadoka, all with a light breeze. But the wind picks up in a little bit, and the heat is going to pick up a lot as we head toward Labor Day weekend. But there is going to be a difference to that heat. We'll talk about that coming up.
Thank you, Adam. The South Dakota Department of Education is encouraging K-12 schools to take a phonics-based approach to teaching reading. The department is offering school-wide training in what's now called the science of reading.
We're trying to provide professional development to districts who want to engage in this kind of thing and to bring their teaching staff up to par and up to the measure of what they need to know about how to best teach reading to our kids.
Graves says this is not a curriculum decision and participation is voluntary. Federal COVID-19 aid is paying for the initiative. KELOLAND's Bob Mercer digs into reading rates across the state and why the Department of Education wants phonics-based reading that's available for you to read on our Capitol News Bureau page right now. The population of Sioux Falls is on the rise, and the Sioux Falls School District is stepping up its efforts to assist families. The Community Engagement Center at Axtell Park opened earlier this year, providing free resources to families with children in the district. The list of items includes backpacks and school supplies, winter gear, and even a small food pantry. The center also helps parents.
We have computers here for people to come in and complete applications for DSS, job applications, check email to see if they got an interview for the job.
They're happy to help you. They want you to feel comfortable coming and asking for help. So, and if you don't utilize the resources, then the resources go away for other families later.
We'll meet a family who's used a variety of services through the Community Engagement Center in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, coming up tonight at 10. The Find the Queen of Hearts fundraiser at JJ's Wine, Spirits, and Cigars in Sioux Falls has hit the potential halfway mark. The drawing is entering its 27th week with 54 cards in the deck, including 2 jokers. The dollars benefit Dakota Dachshund Rescue and Ronald McDonald House Charities of South Dakota. The jackpot currently stands at more than $57,000, with half the prize going to the individual winner and half to the nonprofits.
A one-night stay at the Ronald McDonald House is $50. So we are talking hundreds of nights of family stays at the Ronald McDonald House.
The drawing is tonight at 7-Eleven at JJ's Wine, Spirits, and Cigars. Tickets are available online until 2 p.m. and in person until 6:45.